I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
Voted for Trump is the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.
I wanted to start off by saying I did vote for Donald Trump. We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. So the reason that they're not able to hold up the contract is our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward. I'm not the only one this is affecting. So there are other farmers in the comments saying that they're in the same boat that I'm in because they signed these contracts, and the contracts, even like, so whenever I looked into the contract, I made sure that that funding was set aside. It wasn't funding that, oh, we hope it's there whenever it's done. I made sure that that funding was set aside so that way before I made these business decisions, I knew that funding was there per contract. So they're backing out on the contract because they don't have the funding. They can't release the funds.
When only 5 pickers showed up this morning to harvest his sweet potatoes, farmer Keith Smith saw possible ruin, the loss of his $500,000 crop.
They're running scared because of this new law.
And you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble, bad trouble.
Well, look like farmers are running out of cash, y'all. Under the crisis brought on by Trump. You know, some small farmers, they're on the brink of bankruptcy. They can't afford to run their farms. Well, they ain't got to worry, because J.D. Vance is there. You got to buy up that fucking land. But that's what they wanted from the beginning. That's my opinion. They wanted to boot some of the farmers out so they can buy that land. They wanted their land. It's a goddamn shame that the farmers didn't see it coming. Goddamn shame. Yeah, they didn't see it coming. If they had this, you know, did a little more research, especially on J.D. Vance, he want that goddamn land. He want their land. That's my opinion. But if they had took the time and did some research, I think they wouldn't have voted Trump. But that's my opinion. Oh, well. They lose the land, they lose their land.
There's stories all over the internet about farmers going bankrupt across the country. And I want you to know, I want to feel sorry for you. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to care at all. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because typically I have empathy, but I'm really, really tired of telling you farmers and you people that are in rural parts of the United States, I'm tired of telling you what your vote does to you. Yeah, I mean, you guys in the red states, you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you're broke. You don't have any money. West Virginia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, you get my point. You're broke, and yet you keep voting for the Republican Party that wants nothing to do with you. And farmers, guess what? You're included. But you keep voting red, and now you want me to feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. I just can't.
You want to get rid of illegal immigrants? Quit eating. And that's for everybody. That's, you know, nationwide. If you want to get rid of them, quit eating. That'll solve the problem.
But when only 5 pickers showed up this morning to harvest his sweet potatoes, farmer Keith Smith saw possible ruin, the loss of his $500,000 crop.
They're running scared because of this new law.
And you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble, bad trouble.
Smith's 200 acres need 20 pickers, mostly Mexican nationals.
There is not enough documented people here to supply that workforce.
Most of your workers are here illegally.
That's sure. If they got documentation, they got a better job working for me.
Fernando Aldeman, a Mexican national, has worked Smith's farm since 1992.
Everybody's just scared.
Yeah.
Now, are you here legally? No.
No.
So, are you scared?
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared, you know.
Smith's pickers make about $100 a day. He supports immigration laws, just not this one that threatens his third-generation family.
So I'm a black farmer, and a lot of people are wondering, why are black farmers not panicking like a lot of white farmers? Well, let me explain to you the reasons why. It's because white farmers have been handed everything to them, a lot of them. Not saying all of them, but a good bit of them. And by that I mean this. MLK even pointed out, he says, farmers in the West and the Midwest who were white, they were given land, they were given money, they were given training, they were given a lot. Whereas the black farmers weren't given anything, and the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history is Pickford v. Glickman, where you had a class action lawsuit, bunch of black farmers all joined the lawsuit, and they won a huge settlement because the USDA was shown to be racist for decades. So because black farmers haven't been given anything, we've been learning to do without, unlike your white farmers. So when things are taken away from you, all your subsidies, all your tax breaks, guess what? You panic. Whereas we've always been going through this shit. So there's problems in privilege.
Hey everybody, it's Will. I wanted to let you know that I appeared on News Nation this morning to talk about the overwhelming increase in farmer bankruptcies this year in the United States of America. Already this year, since President Trump took office, we've had more farmer bankruptcies under Section 12 than we had in the entire year in 2024. This is being caused by a lot of the policies that President Trump passed, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to these bankruptcies. Now, a lot of you may not know that Chapter 12 bankruptcy was actually originally created for farmers and fishermen in order for them to reorganize debt when they ran into difficult financial times. That's happening a lot lately due to very specific policies on the part of the president. First, you have the tariffs. The tariffs have been on again and off again for quite some time. I just read this morning and it blew my mind that there have been over 132 different iterations of the Trump tariff policy that's been put out there to the American public and the rest of the world since his inception when he first came into office. Think about that. 130 plus versions of the tariff plan for this country. You ask yourself the question, how can any other country or how can any commodity organization in the United States of America plan around that lack of planning? It's very, very difficult to do. It's caused other countries to throw tariffs onto the United States of America, which have cost us overseas markets, not only in row crops, but also in beef. And the problem is getting worse and worse. The second issue that we face in row cropping is that the break-even price right now for a commodity like corn is around $4 a bushel. And that price of corn has been dipping down below and a little bit above that per bushel price needed to break even for quite some time now. As a matter of fact, just a few weeks ago, the price of corn was somewhere around $3.80 a bushel, which was below break even. Right now, it's anywhere from $4.05 to $4.25, depending on how far you look out to December. But the bottom line is this. There aren't going to be massive profits on row crops this year due to the president's tariff policies, leading to a reduction in the amount of markets out there for commodities like corn, soybeans, etc. And this again is adding pressures to farmers, especially row crop farmers, that depend on credit in order to do their farming every year. The other issue driving up cost is the increased energy cost in this country. Now, if you haven't done so, I'm going to encourage you to go over to the page of my good friend, Mr. Global, and look at some of his latest work on energy costs and energy prices. He's made a prediction which looks like it's going to become true that's really frightening. And that is, in the very near future, energy prices, your utility bill that you pay at your home or on your farm, could be greater than the cost of your mortgage. And that's really, really a frightening scenario for farmers across the country. As these costs increase and as markets disappear and our ability to sell our commodities around the world decrease, it's setting up a perfect storm for bankruptcies in this country. The final thing I want to tell you is that it's no different when a farmer files for Chapter 12 reorganization than it is if a small business does it or an individual does it. The bottom line is a farmer comes out of that bankruptcy with destroyed or credit that's been diminished quite a bit. And in the farming industry, just like with many small businesses and larger businesses, where you need credit to operate, to buy the inputs that you need to produce the commodities that you're later going to sell, the difference between good credit and bad credit can mean several points in interest rates and the increased amount of money that you've got to put down at the beginning or the amount you have to collateralize in order to get a loan. This could mean you have to put more and more acreage up or more and more equipment up just to get the operating capital that you need to put crops in the ground or to put cattle in the field. So this is a really dark cloud that's building over agriculture right now as a direct result of of President Trump's agricultural policies. The other thing I want to tell you, and we can't forget this because I know that a lot of you who follow me and who are going to see this video are mental health advocates as well. Anytime we see a significant increase in farmer bankruptcies like we're seeing right now, we also see a significant increase in farmer unalivings. As the grandson of someone who went down that path, I can tell you that it impacts families for years and years to come. Anyway, that's the breakdown. That's what I shared on News Nation today. I hope you'll go check out the clip. And if you want to change policy in America, get better rural policy, better policy for agriculture, education, and healthcare, join us here on the Back 40 to fight the good fight. Go to our website, the Back 40 Official, all spelled out.com. Join to get our newsletter and join to get updated information. We're going to events all over the country. We've been to Missouri. We've been to Texas. We've been to Illinois. We've been to Kansas. We've been to Oklahoma. We've been to Arkansas, and we've been to Iowa. And we've got requests from all over the country. We're going to be up near St. Louis just later this week on Saturday. We're going to be in Perry, Oklahoma, and speaking to students at Oklahoma State University in August. It's really a great place to be if you want to impact change in rural America. And I'm asking you today to take that leap of faith and step out there and join. Have a great day, everybody.
All these damn illegal aliens taking over American jobs, it ain't right because they're all criminals, you know. That's why we need a strong leader that'll put Americans first. That's why I voted for him, because he said he's going to deport all them illegal aliens, okay? Because I'm a proud American farmer. I don't need no illegal immigrants taking over my jobs. Ain't that right, Jose? Jose? Juan? Pedro? Where did y'all go? Hey, where did they go? They left. Why did they leave? They got work to do. Because they were illegal, and you voted for the guy that wants to deport them. Not really the most stable working environment. What? But I need their cheap labor to make my thin profit margins to make sense financially. Well, you should have thought about that, because now you're going to have to hire Americans, and they're going to unionize and ask for higher wages and eat into those profit margins. Wait, are you saying that I have to face the consequences of my own actions? Because we can't afford this. We're all going to be bankrupt in 2 quarters. Funny how life works that way.
You see, one thing about life is it has a way of teaching lessons the hard way. These farmers proudly stood behind Trump, cheering as people were deported, never for once thought about the hands that kept their farms alive. Now, the same fields that once fed their pockets are empty, the crops are withering, and the bills are stacking high. And guess what? The very people they pushed away are not coming back because why? Why would they come back? It's a bitter pill to swallow, but maybe, just maybe, next time they will realize that hate doesn't put food on your table, racism won't milk the cows, plant the seeds, or pick the harvest. Now, this is a warning to everyone. Be careful of what you cheer for. because the very thing you support might be the same thing that destroys you. And that's all from me today. If you watched till this point, thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel to support the channel. I will see you in the next one. Bye.